Welcome back into Keep It Real. Ana Bellinghausen, Avarie Howard, Jack DeLongchamps joining us now. Jack, where in the world are you right now?
It's a fantastic question that usually changes daily, but we're back in Charleston, South Carolina right now. DC is currently headquartered, but we are doing one last weekend of baseball broadcasting before it's all content all the time for this incredible postseason run.
Where are you next? Do we know?
Well, it's a coin flip. Do you guys want to do it on the pod together?
Yeah.
We're going to flip a coin. We'll go Hoover or Durham, SEC, ACC. It was 4-4 last year in Omaha. We usually leave it up to the powers that be, but I think right now, we just let it rip. What do you think?
So you're making the decision between SEC, ACC, like right now?
That's tough.
Yeah, you want to?
Holy cow. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay. I literally make it up usually every Monday morning. I'm like, where have I not been yet? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Where's your nearest coin?
How about my AirPods? Does that play? Top,
Okay.
SEC, bottom, ACC.
Okay.
What's the bottom? The bottom's the silver thing? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I should have cleared this up too. Are we a flip it podcast or we just catch it how it lands?
You catch it and then you flip it.
Okay. All right. I'll see you guys in Hoover.
Let's go.
No, that's crazy. That's sick. Okay, great. This makes this conversation even better because you've been like touring all over the SEC, it feels like. Where was your first SEC matchup this year? Do you remember?
The dream is college game day for college baseball. So it started with, all right, well, if we're going to kick this thing off, you understand that people are still locked in on March Madness. So really the first travel weekend of trying to implement this concept was Tennessee and Texas A&M, April 4th. So from that weekend on, we picked a different location, SEC, ACC, Sun Belt. We bounced around. So yeah, it was in Knoxville. It was a national championship rematch where we got to hang out with you guys last, and it kind of turned the tide for A&M. They got back into the mix. They're kind of currently back out on the bubble, but it was a perfect way to kick things off. A Liam Doyle no-hitter, and then obviously A&M the next day wins both games. So it was nutty. So yeah, Knoxville.
What site has been the rowdiest for you in terms of fans?
That's a good question. The Tennessee student section was pretty gnarly.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, I was at the box last weekend in Baton Rouge. To see 11,000 people at a 10 p.m. first pitch was remarkable. Like it's unfathomable, right? When you look at other sports, you're like, yeah, sure. But to have that kind of passion in college baseball was really, really cool to see. I'd also like to add, I sat in, they're called the cheap seats. Clemson has renovated a bus. They've got it's completely cleared out, an entire tailgate bleacher on top of the bus. Yeah, it was. So I had one or two cold beverages that day, and they got pretty damn rowdy as well. So Clemson right there too. Don't sleep on the Tigers.
Okay, so for the people that may not know, I know we've done multiple things together, but speaking of a bus, that's essentially how you made your trip to Omaha in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So kind of what you're doing now, maybe give everyone a quick fast track of how you went from, hey, I'm going to the College World Series 2 years ago to, hey, now I'm bouncing around from venue to venue every weekend.
It's good. By the way, big time transition. This is why you two are the best. Bus to RV. Well done. No, so yeah, 2 years ago it was actually my car. I had a sleeping bag in the back of my car, and I slept in the car in the media parking lot. I think the statute of limitations is up on that. I'm not sure if you're even allowed to do that, but that was the plan. And then last year it was an RV. And the NCAA kindly put me in the Creighton basketball parking lot. That was pretty special. To see McDermott and the boys every morning rolling into practice as I was showering with Dasani water bottles. So, yeah, I mean, not much has really – the logistics of it, the process of it, you're kind of still a lone ranger in this, and so thankful to be working with an awesome company that is helping propel these dreams. But for the most part, the game is growing, but it's still, for the most part, you got to be kind of a savage. Like, you have to be a little bit crazy to try to pull these things off. So yes, it's changed a ton, and every day you're just so thankful to being able to go and check out these, these different venues. I think what really has changed is, and you guys were there for the OG of it. Like, I'm a month in doing Pencil Talk when I meet y'all in Omaha 2 years ago in 23. What's really changed, and it's been a true blessing, is like the elevator pitch, the soft launch, like having to explain what you're doing to these teams and to these players. That part has changed, and I would say that is, you don't do it for a pat on the back, but that's the coolest part, is to see like different players and coaches be like, oh, look, that's the weird guy with the pencil. Making that initial conversation easier. Wasn't scared to have them, but it does make it easier. So we've still got some plans. There's still some things we got to figure out for year 3 in Omaha. It might look a lot more similar than you might imagine, but we'll get to that bridge when we cross it.
Yeah, I think it's even been something we've noticed on social, because it's, when you do something, like, a lot of people appreciate it because it's comes from a place of passion. And I think that's been a really cool thing to observe from probably our perspective, knowing your story maybe a little differently than everyone else does. But seeing you be at all these places and just the reception that your videos have gotten, and just you're a few years removed, but it's like a player-to-player conversation. Like, you get their world. And I don't think we always get that when, we put the media cap on here and we're trying to ask them all these other things, and they're just thinking about, sick, we get this post-game meal today, and you're kind of getting to that level with them. And so I think it's been really cool to see people appreciate the value of conversation you're bringing that's different than everyone else. So it has been kind of cool. And how has that been like for you to go to different places? Like you said, like, you were at Texas and Texas A&M, where you got to know both benches pretty well. And then the next week you're at LSU and Tennessee, 2 teams that you saw at the World Series a few years ago. And when you walk in, it's not like, hey, I'm going to interview with this pencil thing, where they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go talk to Jeff. Like, what's that been like, kind of keeping up with these relationships?
Yeah, I think that's why we do it, right? And there's a level of like intimacy to it too, where you dreamed of playing in these venues, and I fell a little bit short, and maybe got to show up, in that visitors dugout, but to then roll in and they roll out the red carpet, it kind of, and I've said this before, it almost feels like imposter syndrome in a way, where you're like, oh man, you guys have got it wrong. Like, I'm still the same dude 2 years ago. But that comes with a level of value where you go, hey man, I got to make sure that I'm telling these stories the way that these dudes deserve. And you guys are former players, and it's why I always gravitated towards what y'all were doing, because I think what y'all do for the city of Omaha is special, like truly special. And you forget about that sometimes. Like, I really do believe and view social media like it's a diary. Like, I just am ripping it because it's fun. And then to see the impact that sometimes it makes, whether it just be to a parent or to a friend or to a cousin, like, there have been some really cool stories along the way. So to your point, you roll in and you're like, oh man, this shouldn't be for me. Like, there are far cooler people rolling into town. But then you see the kind of ripple of those set of actions. And that's been really the most rewarding feeling. And that doesn't covering Army Navy versus covering LSU Arkansas versus covering the JUCO first round of the playoffs. Like, that doesn't change. Like, that feeling is, it sounds cliche as hell, but special.
What have been some of your most special moments then of this season? Any stories that you'd like to share? You kind of started to mention one of them.
Yeah, there's a couple that come to mind. I feel like getting to meet parents is always really cool. So like, even just this past weekend, a guy like Josh Pearson. So Josh Pearson was like one of the very first interviews I ever did in 23. Got him. He made that insane catch in the 23 World Series. Then I got to interview him, and he was super candid and authentic about how it was really terrifying being at the bottom of a dog pile and that he almost wishes they didn't win. It was hilarious. To get to see his senior day over the weekend and to have his parents be like, hey, like, you were kind of at both ends of this bookend. Like, that was really cool. And I was like, I didn't even think about it like that. And so those type of stories are really awesome. I'll stop borrowing people with the sentimental crap, though. I got us crying in the club on an early Thursday morning.
It's okay. We'll do tears around here.
I know. That's why I love y'all. From a baseball perspective, I've seen Cam Canarella of Clemson rob 4 home runs over the last 24 hours. Over the last calendar year, he's insane. Walk-off homers in Durham was pretty nuts. What other baseball ones? How about this one? My alma mater, George Mason. We got a kid, James Quinn Irons. So college baseball junkies, buckle up. We're about to be on the coolest stretch of the year. This kid is going to be the next big league superstar. 6'6", 235, runs a 6'4", 60. From a measurement standpoint, he is Aaron Judge, and he's actually up for the Golden Spikes this year. So
Awesome.
as a career 231 hitter, I couldn't even crack that lineup up there. So now to discover a potential Golden Spikes guy, that's been pretty damn cool.
That's so sick. Have there been any places on your little tour you've been here? Okay, so you've done. It feels like majority.
Dude, words are hard. Yeah. Who
It's not working.
cares?
What is it, Anna? You're the person. Majority.
You're the person.
You're the
Well,
person.
I'm offended you didn't think I was the person.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Wow, how could you ever
It's
assume
me
that?
like on a daily, so we're just there at this point. Majority. That's weird. Majority. Anyway, majority of your tour has been SEC, but have there been places outside the SEC? I know you're kind of an ACC country a little bit that have surprised you, whether it's college towns, stadium, feel, atmosphere. I mean, if there's some people that are listening that are like big baseball, college baseball people, like where should they go that they maybe haven't thought of?
All right, I feel like you're putting this on a tee for me. So I'm going to circle back to it. And I'm going to pander to your audience here in a bit. For college baseball fans, though, like I'm obviously from Charleston, South Carolina, so like getting to cover Coastal Carolina, top 25 team, won a Natty in 2016. Their ballpark is called the Palace, which is pretty damn elite if you think about it. They pack this thing out. Just had a career sellout crowd when they hosted Clemson on Tuesday. They are really awesome. I've gotten to do some really cool like tournament type feels. So have gone out to Arizona, have gone and covered games in Houston, have covered a game, weekend in Dallas. So those are always really cool because it's very much so a regional type feel where you've got 4 to 6 to 8 different fan bases all in one venue, and you're like, I'm getting that itch, like I'm getting that Omaha itch, like fire me up. But if you're a college baseball fan and you want to experience college baseball at its purity, East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, Southern Miss is a great one. I haven't done a lot of Sunbelt schools. I would highly suggest going and checking out those. And I personally still need to go check them out. But just watching from afar, they've got it going. Southern Miss, the Raging Cajuns, Troy, these mid-major schools that you see in the Sunbelt, like their fans are nutty as hell and are all about it. But if I'm going to land the plane correctly, I think I hit y'all up after I saw them in person. First weekend of the year, I'm doing the MLB Invitational in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah. Big
Red Nation rocks? Dude, they packed the diamond out. And this is, 3 states away in Arizona? Like,
Doesn't
it was
matter.
nuts. They beat Vanderbilt, a team that's probably going to host a regional. And, I mean, their fans, it was lined up, I think, like almost like 100 to 200 yards. I remember sending y'all that video. I was so impressed. I knew you guys did it for the fall, but for the spring, I was surprised.
If there is a Nebraska team playing anywhere, you can bet that Nebraska fans will show up. Literally, like, they had a football game in Ireland. It was pretty much all Nebraska fans. I mean, Arizona, there's a ton of Nebraska alum there, but also it's like a 2-hour nonstop flight from Omaha. So, they're going to flood those places. We're not surprised. You might be surprised, but we're like, okay.
I was shocked. Hey, don't take that as criticism, Cornhusker fans. I was dialed in. They had me fired up. It was insane.
Did you see Tucker Timmerman get hit in the face then?
I was at that game.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people know this, and I was trying to be respectful, but we did like the jersey swap after the game. Super badass. And McConaughey was like kind of going through the deal, so like you didn't really know what was going on there. And then obviously the passing of your legendary radio voice. And it was just this really emotional day. And then Tucker Timmerman gets hit. And then after the game, I'm like roaming around doing my thing. And he's like, hey, you're the pencil guy. I'd love to do an interview. Folks, 12 rounds with Mike Tyson would have been an understatement. His face was split right down the middle. So I'm like, hold on. Yes. You got to be concussed to high hell. So I'm like going to find coaches and SIDs, and they're like, go for it. So we did it. And then I was like, I don't feel comfortable doing this. And they're like, yeah, we appreciate you holding that. And then later that night, they released the picture of him right in the middle, just absolute battered and bruised. And I'm like, this kid's a warrior. So yeah, he was an early candidate for my favorite player of the year.
So did you get the jersey? I remember you guys taking a picture, I thought, but did you do the jersey swap?
So I was home field apparel. We did a jersey swap.
Okay.
And we did it with, I can't even remember who we did. We did not do it with Tucker though, because they did it in the middle of the circle. We had learned all about their double celebration. I can't remember who it was. Let me go back and look. But no, we did not do it with Tucker though, because they did one like right in the middle, like they did like the team huddle picture. But that was unfortunately not my jersey. That'd have been really great brand promotion.
So what we're saying is one of the venues you need to get to is to Lincoln, is what we're hearing.
Say less. We've been drawing this up for a while. We need to make it happen.
I know. We thought we were going to get you for a football game, but we'll keep working.
Well, come on. You just say the day I'm there. All in.
We'll make it happen.
We will make it work.
Okay.
Dylan Carey. Sorry, you see how my brain landed the plane. He's an unbelievable kid.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay,
good kid.
Switching gears to previewing these conference tournaments and obviously the precursor to the College World Series here in Omaha. Who are some teams that you're looking out for that might not be on people's radars that you could see making a run to the NCAA tournament?
So we've had 7 College World Series in a row from the Southeastern Conference and 7 different programs, which is fairly fascinating. Mm-hmm. So let's stay away from the chalk picks. I understand that that's what happened in college basketball. And if you're looking at some fun college baseball programs to break that mold, like you're looking at Texas or you're looking at it even at Arkansas, Dave Van Horn has probably put together the most successful run in college baseball history that hasn't resulted in a World Series. So those are going to be your favorite picks. If you're going to the casino down the street, that's who you're going to see at the top of that list. Teams that I really like. I think Clemson has got some weird juju going. Saw them last year. Their season cut short in that super regional. I've already mentioned them a couple times on this podcast. To me, when you look at their numbers and like a lot of their stats, it doesn't really make sense. You're going, nothing really stands out here. They got one guy hitting over 300. They have one starting pitcher with a sub 4.5 ERA. But their coach talks about it all the time. He goes, we win. That's what we do. We're a run-scoring offense, and we're a pitching staff that just does enough. They've got kind of that Savannah Bananas magic paired with a head coach who's insanely military driven. So it's all it's very pragmatic. So there's something special that's happened in the upstate at Clemson. Let's go mid-major watch, though. UC Irvine, maybe my favorite mascot in the country, the Anteaters, Peter the Eater. We got to get that guy to Omaha. Like this guy, the Omaha Zoo's right there. Oh, I'd be obsessed. And they're good. They're really talented. You're looking at maybe 3 to 4 big leaguers on that roster. A head coach that played for UC Irvine. They're a really I say sexy pick out of the West because, we always get one team out there that kind of like slides under the radar or flies under the radar, excuse me. So that's my team out there. And then how about we'll go Big 12 too. Give me TCU. Not a lot of conversations out of the Big 12 this year. Kirk Saarloos, for your fans, they're not going to understand this. I'm a big fan of flip-flops. That's pretty much all I've worn since I was 6 years old. Kirk Saarloos, a fellow lover of the flip-flop. Mm-hmm. And his freshman class – there's been no flip-flop in their game. They've been as consistent as hell from that young of a class, and they are insanely star-studded. I like TCU a lot. Like TCU's going to be a fun name game. Like in 5 years, you're going to go, they have that many guys on one roster? Like, why didn't we talk about them? Mm-hmm. And it's because the SEC has been insane this year, but there's a lot of really fun storylines outside of the conference as well.
Before we move past it, it's interesting you keep bringing up Clemson because last year's Super Regional against Florida was ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Like, insane. Like, we were like, there's no way Florida's making it here. Of course they do, right? The whole thing. I feel like if Clemson makes it to Omaha would be in love with Clemson.
Yeah.
Because of, 100%. Like you said, the numbers don't jump off the page, but when you watch them, you're like, well, that was insane. Well, that was fun. Yeah. Like people that might not love baseball, but they love the College World Series, be like, okay, but I love this. Mm-hmm. And like the whole head coach thing that we had last year in the Super Regional, he was fired up. Cam Cannarella's doing, just everything. It's interesting you keep saying that because there's a part of me that's like, there's something exciting about if they were to be here and like people not knowing a whole lot, but they might know 1 or 2 names, but I think they'd be pleasantly surprised. But
They
That's
would
only
be
for
your
golf.
Omaha darling. They would be your Omaha darling for sure. You hit the nail right on the head where they are a team that's got like 4 6th-year guys. They didn't go get they're insanely talented, but they didn't go get the best players in the portal. They went and got Clemson guys,
Hmm.
which says a lot. Like they are so culture driven that they are a team that would show up in Omaha, and you're right, after one day everyone would be like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
in. Like they would dominate the casual that's rolling into Rocco's and is going,
Being like,
I'm taking the Tigers, baby.
yes, or
Give me, I
what
want,
shirt am I buying this year? That one. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Omaha's other sweetheart, which is obviously LSU, and how much this city
Well,
embraces that team. Like, are they poised for a championship, Jack? Are you putting them up there?
yeah, we don't play biases in this business, but I do with them. They're awesome, man. They're
Yeah.
so awesome. I was just down there last weekend to experience Baton Rouge for the first time. You gotta think, like, really, and I don't want to speak for y'all. My first experience was that with them was in Omaha in 23. It felt like a home game every time they
Yeah.
played, and
The
every bar
bar
you
when
went
they were
to.
like the College World Series bar is like
When
it
LSU's in town,
it goes above the screen because of
everyone
that
wants them here.
year.
Yeah.
They're so stupid. Like, and Jay Johnson is obsessed. He's obsessed with this, and these kids are his family, and they view him as such. And the dudes that they went and got in from a pitching standpoint, to bore y'all with like baseball stuff. I don't know if we've seen a 1-2 punch like this since maybe Flood and Skeens 2 years ago. Like that, you look at Doyle and Marcus Phillips at Tennessee, two insane guys that will be in the big leagues in the next 2 years. But Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson at LSU right now, they got it brewing. Like they got something cooking in the Bayou. There's going to be, I mean, they're going to be impossible to beat in a 2 game stretch with those two guys. And they're so different in the way that they go about their work, but they're so damn effective that, yeah, they're going to be there. Like gun to my head, like that's the safest bet in the books is like them to get to Omaha. Then obviously anything can happen when it gets there, and they had that magic 2 years ago. But this team sure does feel like it. You know, we talk about it all the time. When you pour gas on the fire, you're going to reap the benefits of kind of the work behind the scenes. And this is a school that across the board, like y'all, think about this. I know you guys cover all sports like I do. Like over the last 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
this school has experienced some of the most memorable college athletics moments in all sports,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be gymnastics, women's basketball, football, Heisman's, Natties, baseball. Like this is a school that just gets it, and they beat everyone to the curve in this new landscape, and it's why they are in the conversation in just about every sport across the board. So yeah, do they have a shot? Hell yeah, they probably have the best shot, right?
So when you were down there, did you get a feel for the campus? Did you get a feel for like were like how was
Yeah.
the flops on the ground around campus? Did we see the tiger? Did we eat the
Ooh.
food? Like give us the
They
full
did the
experience
damn
here for a
thing.
second.
Yeah, they did the damn thing. Have you guys ever been?
No.
Yeah, we got to. So we got to do that. Maybe we go. I'll do a fall game on Saturday in Lincoln, and we'll all go down to the Bayou together.
Very
Because
good.
it's stupid. It's really. I made a joke. I want to shout Ashley Murky. She's been running their social there for the last 8 years. She's been doing it since she was a student, which is really cool. Like
So
they
cool.
cultivate that in house. So it's called the LSU brand.
Mm.
They've got, and they remind me a lot of y'all. I actually told them this, where they've got everything that you need in house. So they run all of their marketing, all their advertising, all their social, all their video, all their graphic, all their photo. So they kind of like let me peek behind the curtains, if you will, to check all of their processes out because it's inspiring to be around. And that's why you're seeing this incredible product that they can keep investing in because they figured out how to do it internally. So I say that Ashley Murky like gave me, rolled out the red carpet, and I went and checked out the football stadium and got to see the locker room, and I got to see where they run out, and
Cool.
you got to see like kind of their operations and where they work, and they call it the lab, and it's sick. But yeah, met Mike the Tiger. I petted him for a while, got his
Wow.
thoughts on it. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
You went in the cage with them?
No, yeah, I did.
Yeah, you could do
No
that.
fear. No fear. Just got on the same frequency with him. He was fine. Yeah, that was awesome. They have a live ass tiger in the middle of their campus,
Crazy.
which is
Seems
stupid.
concerning, but
But it is like, I mean, it's one of those places, and obviously Nebraska, is a little bit more than that, but it feels the same where the city is the college and the college is the city type deal, which I'd never really gotten to experience with where I went to school. So that was awesome. And I even made a joke about it to Ashley Murky, their social person, and she's really just running this scene. So she was able to show me everything that she's like, if you want to do LSU like a real LSU student, I got you. So I made a joke. I was like, this feels like cinematic. Like this feels like this could be in a movie. And she's like, actually, they did film Pitch Perfect here. And I go, it's exactly what I was talking about. Like, yeah, this is like a prototypical college. Got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was sweet.
Where else do you want to go this year before the season ends? If you could pick, like, your perfect tour. So we know you're going to Hoover. So we know you got that. But if you're picking like your own regional, super regional, based on what we know at the moment, or maybe not even, like, where do you want to go?
I can't believe we flipped that coin. That was so fun.
That was
you guys. Now you get to. If you guys want to bore me,
it was an AirPod case, but yeah.
It plays. It plays. I don't have any. This is what I'm talking about.
It literally plays.
The Gen Z version of a coin.
Lack of coins around here might put me back in the RV for Omaha again. You guys are starting to see how this works, though.
Wait, so are you coming in the RV or are you not?
We're building the budget as we speak. It's what can we afford this year? It's what can we afford?
AirPod cases around.
Exactly. I'm gonna start pawning these AirPod cases off. If you guys see me in Omaha with the wired headphones, you know I'm back in the RV.
Yeah, because you've been selling your AirPods. Here's your daily rate. You can use them, turn them.
I'm leasing them.
Yeah,
it's actually a good business model. All right, where am I going? Where's my dream spot?
Yeah, where do you want to go
going to Hoover now. I'd love to do a Sunbelt school for a regional. So if Southern Miss hosts a regional, I'd love to do that.
Okay.
I'd love to do that. I want to get weird for the regional. Another sneaky spot that I'd love to do, shout out my people at home field. I got a bunch of West Virginia gear. I think Morgantown would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're having an awesome season. Their first year without their head coach, Randy Mazey. They kind of passed along the torch. They picked up right where they left off a year ago. And I think they're going to host. I think they're in the conversation to host or like one of those bubble schools. So regional will either be like a Southern Miss, a Troy, or a Morgantown. And then a super, I feel like I should do something different, but I had so much fun in Austin, Texas, that if the Longhorns can get back to a super, Austin is just plain out silly, and it's such a fun town. And that coaching staff's got it rolling. I know that there's been a lot of not controversy, but like a lot of, hey man, what happened there? Well, they've picked up right where they left off, and all they do is win. So Texas would be a fun one too. I'd love to go back.
Yeah, can we talk about that real fast? Texas.
Yeah.
Do we think they have a shot at Omaha this year? Or I've heard a lot of mixed reviews here. They're dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, they've got it rolling. They're top of the SEC in a lot of things. But how legit do you think they are?
So for your hypothetical investors out there and gamblers, here's your take on Texas, right? Like if I were to buy low and sell high type deal in Texas, there is a curse. It feels like on the number one overall national seed for years past, right? Like dating back to 22 when Tennessee loses in the Super for Notre Dame. So like just because you have this quite literally historic season doesn't necessarily always equate to an Omaha run. After sweeping A&M the weekend that I was there with UT, Texas was the second fastest team in SEC history to get to 19 wins. Yeah. 19-2 is nuts for your first year in that conference. And this year, a mega conference, if you will. So it was expected at some point for this to cool off a little bit. The questions that you raise are insanely valid where you go, okay, everyone sustains injuries, but they sustained injuries to their Golden Spikes hopeful and Max Ballou, who hopefully – they'll have back for the regionals. He's taking fly balls and he's taking BP and he's working through that hand injury. But then losing Jared Spencer on Friday night, it rattles you a little bit, like rightfully so. And you saw in that A&M series, that was the first weekend that they didn't have him, you see everyone kind of rise to the occasion and go, hey, one man down, next man up. Then after that, I just think from a routine standpoint, like you're taking guys out of their natural kind of like rhythm, and it ruffles the feathers a little bit. they also have played Arkansas and Florida. So you're like, maybe they just played really good baseball teams. Yeah, I think they absolutely have a chance to get back to Omaha. Like losing a guy on Friday and Jared Spencer is really difficult. But when you have Max Weiner as your pitching coach, I swear to God, I think he could take the three of us and build out an awesome weekend rotation. And I promise you, I couldn't throw a baseball over 50 miles per hour right now. And he'd figure it out. He's that good. He'd find a way. So they've got a shot. Yeah, look, Anna's ready. Are we all right?
Where's your baseball?
Yeah, where's your baseball?
Are you for real?
Yeah.
There's no way Anna are sitting here right now and you don't have one.
I got like 50 of them back here. Hold on. Does this count? I'm so patriotic. It's insane.
What? Is that even a real baseball?
I win. Hold on.
Yeah, you do win.
Mine's Major League. Mine's Major League.
Oh, she went big league on us. If this isn't telling of our personalities, by the way, this is pretty
good.
Pretty indicative. Pretty indicative.
I love it. All right,
Okay.
so if you're like a casual fan in Omaha, you're just waiting for these 8 teams to come. Jack, who are the ones that you're like, okay, for sure? And we've already talked LSU. Of course, they're number 1 in the nation right now. But like, who are those teams that you would expect to see in Omaha? And who are some sleepers that you're putting in that field of 8?
Okay. LSU, Arkansas get there. Those are my chalk picks.
Mm-hmm.
Texas gets there. That's my 3rd chalk pick. Georgia goes for the first time since 2008. The dogs get there.
We get the Johnson matchup, potentially.
Wes and Jay. Wes has the ability to win it this year. They lose the Golden Spikes Award winner from last season, and they got better. Better. They're better this year. So I love Georgia. That would be a really fun team to keep an eye on. And again, they're a top 5 team in the country, and you're going, no one's talking about them. Well, that's how good the SEC's been this year. Florida State gets back. There's another kind of chalk pick, but they're that good too. I really think out of the crowd of Irvine, Coastal, Troy, Southern Miss, one of those 4 Sunbelt teams gets in. I've talked about them a ton. Someone's going to do it. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. One of these mid-majors is going to do it. We can't be basketball. We can't be chalk. We got to get the boys in there. So we'll go one of those 4 and then flip an AirPod case for TCU or West Virginia.
Sure.
Okay.
A Big 12 team gets in as well. And then my final one, so I'm at 7 because I've played this really politically correct. My final, Oregon or Oregon State. They're going to play rock, paper, scissors. The winner's going to go to Omaha.
Okay.
Yeah, Oregon's been to a Super Regional 3 the last 4 years. Like where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Like this is a good program. They've got probably the Golden Spikes winner in Mason DeVille. They hit bombs, so I don't know how well that'll play in Omaha, but they can get them there. Oregon State's probably more talented top to bottom from a roster standpoint, and being in the independent conference this year and having to do the things that they've had to do, I think has suited them nicely for a postseason run. But that'll be my 8. Round it out.
I love it. I would love to see Coastal Carolina back here. That would be awesome.
Fun crew.
It would be sick.
And their jerseys are
fun
so
crew.
cool.
Jerseys are good. Let's ask the question that everyone cares about then. Do you have a favorite costume of the season that you've seen so far? Because you know that I call jerseys costumes, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, you talked about this last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to beat the powder blue last year with North Carolina.
The Argyle. Still good.
What have I seen this year?
I don't know. I love Tennessee's like bright orange. I think they do.
Do you really?
I personally enjoy it. I think a nice sunny day out with the bright orange and the white letters.
Okay.
I like that.
Now that you're saying
Black and orange ones too, right? Like
you have a black and orange. Yeah, I think the blacks were kind of sick, and I'm not.
The blacks are their best. The blacks are their best for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this postseason pretty intently, and I'll get back to you.
Can we build out a Mount Rushmore or a Field of 64, or when we get the Field of 64, we'll jump on another pod, we'll do a bracket, and it just be based on who's got the best costumes.
Oh, for sure.
All right, I'm in.
Okay, I have 2 more things for you before we let you go. Starting with a little bit more of a serious note, what are some stories you've come across that you want people to know maybe about a few players as they get to watch them into the postseason? What are things that they're not going to maybe pick up on the broadcast or something that, I don't know, but you've gotten to know because whether you get to know these players or conversations, any, adversity stories, what are things that people should know maybe that you've come across as they go into postseason play here? I know I'm putting on the spot.
That's good.
I know you come
I
across.
love that. I think this is why we've always all gotten along is that these are the stories that we actually care about. I don't give a damn about the numbers. I don't give a damn what happens on the field. It's these storylines. Did you guys see the story, the kid from Auburn? Like Auburn's having a spectacular season, and they absolutely have the pieces to get to Omaha. But their first base coach, who is on the roster, but wants to get into coaching, played at Birmingham Southern last year, a program that ceased to exist. Not just program, but the school shut down. They go and play in the D3 World Series. And this kid hits a home run in his first at bat of the year. Like, how cool is that on senior day? So this is the type of stuff we're talking about.
Auburn's had a lot of moving things like that this year. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. I actually broadcasted. This was a great broadcasted High Point baseball. If you remember, High Point beat. They lost to Clemson in extra innings. They beat Vanderbilt. It was a really good, fun 4 seed if you want a Cinderella to maybe get to a super regional. I had them on Tuesday night, but Joey Hammond, who used to coach at Wake Forest, his middle son is committed to Wake Forest, coaches at High Point, and his oldest son is a sophomore on the team, Caleb. And he's like, yeah, man, it's just really cool to get to coach your own son. He doesn't play a ton. He's got 5 hits on the year, y'all. He's hitting .313 and like 15 at-bats. 3 of his 5 hits are homers. So this is what we're talking about. Like, we love these stories.
Yeah.
All right, from a national scale, give me a behind-the-scenes story. I love watching Coach Vitello's dad at all these games. Like, he's like, you think Tony V is nuts? Like, watch his pops in the stands. Like, you see the passion oozing from even right above the dugout as well as in it. I don't know. I might have to come back to you guys. This is good.
We'll get to that when maybe in Omaha we can get down to it too when you go to watch these guys.
Yeah.
And say, okay.
Off the top of my head, I'll give you a quick one. Yeah, we'll do more. We talked a lot about Clemson, so I'll keep it in-house at Clemson. They got a kid in Dominic Listy. Listy was a junior college kid, turned D3, All-American, went to Indiana State, was on those 2 like back-to-back stud teams, and now he's at Clemson in his 6th year of college baseball. So often do we talk about the college landscape and how nasty the portal is, but every once in a while we get it right. And this is a kid that's getting his master's degree from Clemson, and he's getting to play college baseball, and he has seen it from literally every end of the spectrum. And it's those storylines that just continue to pop up that I find to be amazing, where you go, this guy has experienced all of it. So Dominic Listy, he hits right in front of Cam Canarella at Clemson. He's a 24-year-old guy that's like, all right, man, this is it. And you can tell in the way that he plays that like he's leaving every inch of it out there. So when you watch him play, you're like, oh, this dude's a bandit. And you can kind of tell that. And there are hundreds of stories like that. So, but yeah, there's one for you.
Okay, we love it. Here's my last one. If you could pick the field of 8 only by fan bases, who's coming to Omaha only by fan bases?
That's a good question. It kind of goes back to my venue question, right? But sometimes the venue, you know how they always say it's like, oh, it's the people, not the place? Sometimes it is the place.
Sometimes it is the place.
Well, LSU's 1-1.
Okay.
Right?
LSU's
1-1. Southern Miss. Social media is not a real place, so it can't hurt my feelings, but Southern Miss fans have tried to hurt my feelings. They've really tried.
Wow, okay.
So we'll go Southern Miss too. Their ballpark is the Pete. It's sick, and their people are nutty. LSU, Southern Miss. Let's go Texas. Texas fans are crazy. Texas A&M fans are even crazier, and I want them to try to have a civil war in the great state of Nebraska. So let's get both of them in there.
Let's do it.
I don't know how likely that's going to happen. Those two really care a lot. How many am I at?
You need
Math
4.
is hard. Math is so hard.
Okay, I got count here.
East Carolina fans, dude, they've been just – you feel for them. I feel for Florida State fans. They've really tried to hurt my feelings too. As you can tell, I've talked a lot about Clemson on this pod. Florida State for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they've had the football fiasco, the check swing from a year ago. I think it's only created more animosity throughout that fan base. So they would, I think, show out well. Let's go Nebraska. Let's pander.
Yes.
For the fan base.
Seriously,
For the fan
if
base.
we got, but if they traveled to Arizona like that,
There'd be no tickets.
There would be no tickets.
So-
tickets in Omaha.
promise. So Nebraska versus LSU for the College World Series. What is it? Is it 50-50?
No.
I
They'd
think
have to do
No.
a lot of tickets. They would have to be like,
I
here are
don't
yours.
know.
And literally, I don't know how they would do it.
I don't know how they would do it, but if we were actually saying like I think it'd be 50-50 because
They would have to.
You couldn't keep LSU fans out of that place either.
No.
They would pay
No.
any amount of money to go.
No, they would. But Nebraska fans would probably find a way to buy them in stock the first day they got
I think
there.
they'd have the ins somehow.
Yeah,
buy
and then they
all-
would probably, if Nebraska didn't make it, they'd sell them. But with the chance, Nebraska would be buying those tickets.
Oh yeah.
So they're there. See, it was good. I painted, but it would be really cool to have someone in your backyard.
It would be insane. I mean, think back to when they were in it. How long it was? What the Alex Gordon days or whatever?
Yeah, Gordon,
I mean,
when it was
I mean-
07?
Yeah, that whole squad, like, that's insane.
Okay.
I can't imagine getting
I
that.
would love to experience that. Whenever
Even
that
just as,
day
like-
comes.
Yeah,
if
just to
ever-
see I mean, we see this place on fire for like 2 weeks. But,
Yeah.
like, this place would be
Oh, would
burnt to
be
the ground.
great.
It wouldn't matter.
Even
Yeah.
the Big Ten
Okay.
tournament, like last year when they won it all, it was electric in Charles Schwab, and like
It was all
it was so
packed.
it was a cool
Yeah.
scene. It was a cool
Yeah.
scene.
I've never seen that stadium packed in one singular color, which was crazy.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Okay, well, let's dream. Let's dream.
One more.
Let's make it happen.
One more.
I'm at 7. Should I just say Creighton and ruin it all and piss everybody off? No, I won't do it. Let's do. Oh, I brought them up earlier. I think West Virginia fans really want a reason to get
Okay.
there. I think West Virginia
mixed
fans
bag
like
right
they
there.
they burn couches. I think they burn a city down. I'd like to see it as
Okay.
well. So what? Yeah,
There you go.
I like that pick.
LSU. Oh, we'd even say Arkansas.
Oh man, they're really that after last weekend too. They really are.
Tennessee showed out last year. I thought they were pretty good fans.
Hey, are you cheating on your OG?
No, dude. Let's be honest, man. You brought up Tennessee. I started blushing. They know where my love is. They can't get rid of me this quick. I was selected as an honorary VFL. So
Bull for life.
yeah, for life. They can't get rid of me. I was just mixing it up. They're the reigning champs. They'll
No,
be
I
back.
get it.
Don't worry.
There's too many.
That's a fun little
Yeah,
mixed
I like
bag
that.
of fan bases right there.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too chalk. That was the issue. I didn't forget
Yeah,
about
you could
Tennessee.
just go. Okay, bring the SEC tournament here. I mean,
Just take Hoover and yeah, that'll be fine.
all those fans are great. But yeah, I love it.
And we don't get an even split this year, from what I'm gathering either.
Dude, I think Tennessee goes back. Everyone's out on Tennessee because they've lost all these weekends in a row. You know, there is a real chance that we get like 5 or 6 SEC teams to Hoover because they're going to get 14 teams in the tournament, in my opinion.
Yeah, which is nuts.
Well, 13 depending on what happens with A&M this weekend. But like, you're looking at 13 SEC teams. You're looking at 7 hosts, which means there's going to be just like Florida coming out as a 3 seed last year. Like, there's going to be a ton of different possibilities where you're looking at. I mean, like, they're just going to be everywhere. So, it's what has happened in that conference has been quite literally. You're learning a lot about the sport. Where like they're trailblazing in a way where you're going, well, this is turned into a superpower. Is this good for everybody? So we'll see what happens.
What are you most excited for Omaha? Name one thing.
What was the ice cream joint that we went to?
Coneflower.
No coneflower.
I'm most excited for Coneflower.
You want to go back there? Yeah, best ice cream in America. That's what they say.
So badly. That waffle cone, I've dreamed about it since. It was that good.
You heard it here first. Not excited for the baseball.
It's
Not
all about
excited for Rocco's.
Hey,
Just coneflower.
Yeah. I'm a vet now. The Jello shots, whatever. What
Yeah.
people are forgetting is that Rocco's Pizza is elite. But I'm searching for a Coneflower NIL deal here,
we
folks.
need to get
Washed
you
up.
like the cracks and crevices of Omaha. Like, you've done all the main attractions. Like, we need to get you into, like, some other low-key spots in Omaha that are amazing.
Well, I've already hung out with y'all, so I'm learning. I'm trying to become a native. I want to show up and be like, yeah. What's the steak spot that I hit last year that everyone hits?
The Drover?
Yeah, Drover.
I hit the Drover. I want the real spot,
too, right? Sorry, trigger warning, but you've had a Runza.
What's a Runza?
Okay,
yeah, we're doing
you didn't do it. I thought we told you to when you were driving to stop at a Runza, but I think you couldn't get to
you
it.
also were leaving in like a tornado, so
yeah.
That was pretty scary. Actually, someone brought that up on Twitter the other day. I actually did leave in a tornado, and I was in an RV, and it was literally like out of that damn movie Twister. I was a dead person.
Yeah.
Wait, is Runza the gas station with the dinosaur?
No, that is
That's like just a gas station.
What's it called?
That's just a gas station. What?
I think it's like Sinclair.
Sinclair, yeah.
You guys told me to do a food review. So I did it there.
Dinosaur.
Anna's personality is like half Anna, half Runza.
Yeah,
so
it's Runza Rex. I'm not sponsored. Just putting that out there. But
shout out.
It's just an Omaha staple. You gotta get. Well, it's a Nebraska Midwestern staple. They have some in like other states too, but you gotta try a Runza. I can't believe we've never made you do that before.
Okay, we do it this year. I'm coming in. I've come in and I've created my own media days within the World Series, but I will actually be at Media Day this year. So let's post Media Day Runza it up.
Ugh.
Okay.
I will say it's heavy. You shouldn't be.
What
doing
is a
anything
Runza?
afterwards.
It's literally a hot pocket with meat.
It's amazing.
Oh,
You're gonna love it. Avery's not gonna.
Yeah, I'm all in.
What'd you say?
Why?
Jack will have it. I don't think Avery likes Runzas.
It's definitely not my fast food of choice. I'm not like I love Nebraska. Let's go to get a Runza.
She's not from here. She doesn't get it.
I feel like everyone's here is like, I don't know.
No,
She's saying.
It's like one of the only things we have.
I'll try one for the sake of the content.
Okay, good.
For the brand.
And
We'll hold her to it.
I did mine in ranch, just FYI. Their ranch is
No. This sounds really good. This sounds like it.
Jack's going to become obsessed, I already know.
Yeah, I bet I'll go back.
The entire podcast.
And somehow he's going to get a sponsorship before I do with Runza.
And
that's somehow
I've told you from the jump. I've told this to many people. I have learned a lot about social media. 6 years of college, a master's, a certificate, the whole thing. I got it up on the wall. I've gone to the school of social. Yeah, no big deal. Educated.
Yep.
I've gone to the school of social media from my Hurrdat friends. So I've been very thankful for all y'all over the years. You guys also know that I like to live fairly uncomfortably. And my currency in life is experience and adventure. If we're able to lock in a Runza deal, you can have 100% of it. And a lot of people are like, that's bad business, Jack. Like, yeah, but this is how I operate. So Runza, I'm coming, and we're coming to take it all. I do think that there's the opportunity of a lifetime, though. I have DM'd the Ticonderoga account every Monday for the last 2 years. No response. Not one. Not one. I'm not that cool, y'all. I'm just not that cool.
No one has said I need obviously more than you.
No one has cared more about the pencil more than me. That's just a fact.
That's fact.
One more year of the School of Hard Knocks with Hurrdat Nation, I think we get closer. But if I can secure Runza for Anna and Anna can secure Ticonderoga for me, I just think the world goes round.
I'll get into my pencil contacts here.
Yeah, got a friend about a friend.
Okay, Jack. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you in Omaha, and we look forward to your coverage in Hoover. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We will, the AirPod case is spoken. I'm over. See you in a week.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.